In order to understand these skill trees, I need you to open your mind. Not only is crouching the same audible distance as walking and even creeping, but it's slower, you're an easier target, and your stamina regeneration isn't as good as standing, so it's overall worse. After further testing, me and my friend Oscar discovered that sound is actually based on line of sight, as in it only matters where the camera can see you or not. So essentially what this means is it doesn't matter if you're crouching or walking, as long as you're behind cover while sneaking up to somebody, it doesn't matter. And finally, they nerfed security lockers and they buffed the movement tree. So what does this mean? All of this combined, what does this mean? It means that you should always be walking. There is not a single situation in this game where walking doesn't give you the advantage over crawling or crouching in terms of sneaking up to somebody. Here are multiple tests with me and my friend Oscar. Basically, I turn around every single time I hear him behind me. He takes the same exact path, crouched and standing. That's him crouched. And now this is standing.
Okay.
As you can see, it's basically the same spot.
Yeah.
We even tested this indoor and underground in multiple settings. And as you can see, every single time,
No way.
regardless if he's crouching or walking, I always stop him earlier when he's crouched.
I don't know.
Basically what this means is you should always be walking when you're sneaking up to somebody or even traversing the map, as crouching doesn't give you any benefit unless you're taking cover from bullets or arc. And it saves you 6 points in the skill tree. As you can see in these tests, it does not matter if you're walking or if you're crouching. It's better off if you're walking, especially when you have Calming Stroll, which by the way now works with ADS. Now with this knowledge, you can understand why I go the skills I do for these 4 builds. So this build is basically if you want the top movement path abilities without sacrificing too many meta abilities. The blue markings means that they're interchangeable, and the reason why I put Unburdened Roll on one of the blue markings is because with all the stamina from Effortless Roll, one less roll isn't really going to make much of a difference if you want to get, faster looting, for example. And if you're not a squad player, you probably won't want the turtle or down but determined skills as badly as somebody else that has a squad. So this is going to be my build, and basically what this is a result of is after the expedition I just got uninterested in looting. I genuinely don't care what my stash value is, and I'm going to get to 5 mil regardless of whether I have broad shoulders or not. And everything else in the survival tree doesn't really help you in PvP, and if you leave looting for last, it won't ever affect you. Plus, since Security Breach was nerfed, I just don't see the point. I'd rather have more movement options and more PvP options. This is probably the strongest PvP build in the game, as long as you do not care about getting as much loot out. Personally, how I will be combating this is just committing to being overweight. What I mean by that is, as soon as you're done with all the fighting, everything cools down and you're actually looting, which will take longer for you, just commit to being overweight. Basically, once you're overweight, just commit to it, and just get as overweight as possible and then go straight for the exit. Alright, so this is for my solo players that do not care about the top tier mobility skills at the top. If you know you're never going to be vaulting, you're never going to be using the spring vault, and you don't see it worth investing 36 points into, then I present to you this tree. Now, this tree is as optimized as I could make it. You could still obviously compromise or switch around some skills with the blue markings, or you can -2 fight or flight or proficient prior. But in terms of good skills, meta skills, min-max skills, this is 100% the tree that you want if you're a solo. Now this is basically the same tree, not prioritizing the movement abilities, except this time you're in a squad. The last one was for solos, this is for squads. The only difference is, you know, basically the skills when you're downed. In my opinion, I think they're extremely valuable when you're playing in a squad. It allows you to take a full clip from an enemy and your teammate could push. Or you could just take hits from the shredder while, you know, they're running around chasing them. You know the situations. The point is, it allows you to stay alive longer so your squad can revive you. Keep in mind, all of these skills are assuming that you did the expedition and you got all 5 points like I did. However, if you didn't, feel free to just look at the same skill trees, and then the skills that I highlighted in blue, you can compromise and you could shift them around, you could take away some points. It'll still work, but you'll have 5 less points. You get the drift.